Welcome to the Gaston County Tax Office Citizens Academy. In this second presentation, we will discuss how to complete the annual listing form. North Carolina General Statute requires all property owners list their assets each year with the local tax office to be taxed on the value of the property. This is known as the listing process. Statute 105-308 gives clear direction to all property owners to follow through with this listing procedure. Displayed on your screen is a summary of the key statutes that control the listing process. Gaston County Tax Office strives to apply each of the statutes in a fair and equitable manner. The annual listing procedure allows Gaston County to make an account of all the taxable property located within its jurisdiction. This process is managed by the Personal Property Division of the Gaston County Tax Office, located at 128 West Main Avenue, Room 214 in Gastonia.
As directed in the general statutes, all completed listing forms are to be submitted to the Gaston County Tax Office. For standard mail, listing forms should be mailed to P.O. Box 1578, Gastonia, North Carolina, 28053. Or you can hand deliver or use the available drop boxes on site at 128 West Main Avenue, Gastonia. We also accept completed listing forms by email. Business personal property listing forms should be sent to. Individual personal property listings should be sent to. As to when, the official annual listing period begins on the first business day of January and ends on January 31st. Listing forms should be received by the tax office or affixed by a U.S. postmark dated no later than January 31st. If a USPS postmark is not present on the envelope when the listing form is received, the listing will be considered filed as of the date received in our office. Property owners who submit late listing forms or do not submit a listing form at all will be assessed a 10% late list penalty. We have now discussed where you are to submit your listing form, who is required to complete a listing form, the deadline by which the form should be submitted, and why you are required to list your property. Now let's turn to the steps on what is to be listed and how.
Taxable property falls into one of two categories, real or personal. Real property includes land, buildings, and any permanently attached fixtures, such as a deck or paved driveway. Personal property is subdivided into personal property for private use and personal property for business use. Personal property and business personal property includes, but is not limited to, any unregistered vehicles, tagged and untagged trailers, most mobile homes, aircraft, watercraft, machinery, office equipment, and farm equipment. To streamline the process, Gaston County has approved two separate listing forms to help report the different categories of property. We will start with the form that is approved to report personal property for private use and real property updates. The form is divided into 8 sections that you will either complete or review. Each section is labeled with letters A through H. If this is your first time listing property with the Gaston County Tax Office, be sure to complete all the required data in each section. Property owners who have listed property in a previous year will be mailed a 2025 listing form pre-printed with the existing asset information we have on file. Please review the information in each section carefully to make any necessary corrections. It is important that the tax office accurately identifies the property's ownership, location, type, and your contact information, so please be sure to review and update the form each year to reflect the most current information.
Let's take a closer look at the individual sections. As mentioned earlier, the deadline for submission is January 31st, and the completed forms should be returned to the Gaston County Tax Office. Section A provides a place to verify your name and mailing address and to make corrections. Section B contains the personal data section. Please provide the most up-to-date information for each property owner. Section C details the changes made to any real estate. However, if you do not own real estate, this section may be omitted. Gaston County participates in the permanent listing of real property. Remember, house and land. and only requires property owners to list any changes or updates that have been made to the real property since January 1st of the previous year. Such improvements include building a deck, finishing a basement, adding a porch, building a carport, garage, barn, fishing, boating, pier or dock, or storage building. These are examples of updates that need to be noted on the listing form in Section C. Section D is where you will list details of your personal property assets. Please list all personal property, including mobile homes and improvements, boats and motors, jet skis, aircraft, and any unregistered, untagged vehicle. IRP-plated vehicles and multi-year permanent tagged automobiles, trucks, trailers, campers, motorhomes, and motorcycles. Please do not include any motor vehicle with a current annual North Carolina tag and registration. Registered motor vehicles have already been taxed as part of the DMV registration process. For property owners that have received the pre-printed listing form for 2025, it is critical that you carefully review the list of assets and add additional items you now own as of January 1, 2025. Be sure to update any missing or incorrect information. Circle any personal property you no longer own and indicate whether it was sold, traded, given away, or etc. Also provide the new owner's name, address, and a copy of the bill of sale. Please be sure to provide the physical address of the property now listed on the form. Section E requires your signature and date. Even if there aren't any changes, you are signing to affirm ownership for the 2025 tax year. Any listing form submitted without a signature will be rejected and returned to the property owner, which could potentially cause a late list penalty. Sections F, G, and H include important information about the correct listing of residential rental property, farm equipment, and participation in the present use value program. The most important aspect of the listing process is for a property owner to submit a true accounting of their personal property assets to ensure they pay no more than the required amount of taxes per the laws of North Carolina. Remember, the deadline to return the completed listing form to the Gaston County Tax Office is January 31st. Additional information, forms, general guidance, and answers to frequently asked questions can be found online by visiting the Gaston County Tax Office website. We also welcome you to call or stop by our office anytime, Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m.
We will now look at the form approved by Gaston County for listing the business personal property category. Under North Carolina law, individuals or businesses that own or possess personal property used in connection with a business or other income-generating purpose as of January 1st each year are required to list the property and pay property taxes. Given the potential for a long list of business personal property, the best place to start is with an inventory of all assets connected to the business. Please note the list of categories to help you identify personal property for business use. You should also identify and provide information related to leased items and dual-purpose items. Finally, items held by your business for resale or for raw materials that will be used in the manufacturing process of your business should not be listed. With your business personal property identified and grouped into the reference categories, we will now discuss where to enter the data on the business personal property listing form. Displayed is the front and back of the listing form approved for use by Gaston County.
The form is divided into 5 major sections. The top portion of the listing form covers the basic information about your business needed by the tax office to identify where your business is located, the type of business being operated, who owns the real estate, and who to contact for audit or listing questions. Be sure to complete this information as the status, location, or contact information of your business may have changed within the previous year. Focusing on the second portion of the listing form, we see Schedule A. The listing form is designed for a business owner to report all assets in a category annually using the year acquired, also called the age of the asset. and the historical original cost. No need to depreciate the assets on the listing form. Provide only the historical original cost. The tax office calculates the depreciation based on the guidelines provided by the North Carolina Department of Revenue. In the Schedule A section, you will report cost information for machinery and equipment, office furniture, computer equipment, leasehold improvements, expensed items, other items, construction in progress, and supplies. Within each category, you are provided columns to enter the amounts related to the original cost of the asset, additions, deletions, and the total amount. If you need help completing this section, please reach out to our office at 704-866-3158, option 3, or visit us in person Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. We also have available on our website a step-by-step how-to guide designed to help you. The Schedule B and C sections on the back of the listing form contain areas to report vehicle equipment, boats and motors, mobile homes, and leased equipment. Please give specific information about each item, such as year, make, model, VIN number. If you have year purchased and original cost, please provide it. The final section requires your signature and date. Even if there aren't any changes, you are signing to affirm ownership for the 2025 tax year. Any listing form submitted without a signature will be rejected and returned to the property owner, which could potentially cause a late list penalty.
We appreciate your attendance for this presentation of the Citizens Academy. We hope you feel better informed about the listing process. Completing the annual listing form may seem confusing or overly complicated, but we're here to help. Please reach out to the Personal Property Division with any questions or concerns. We can be reached at 704-866-3158, option 3, or by visiting us at 128 West Main Avenue in Gastonia. For businesses needing additional time, Gaston County accepts applications for an extension. The extension application is available online on the tax office website. Please follow the link to test your newly acquired tax knowledge.